Okay, families, we'll try this again. I'm so sorry. I realized that I had the internal microphone for the computer turned off. Um, if you need assistance logging into your Google Meeting or showing your child how to use their Google email account, watch this video. If you've already got this figured out, just press stop and delete it. And thank you. And again, my apologies for that other video without sound. I'm going to try to go through this very quickly. Boys and girls, when you log into Google, you'll click on, you'll see on Google, you'll have Gmail, images, and then you'll have the bar here for the Google apps. You'll click on Google. I'm going to use a student account. She was so gracious to allow me to do that so I can practice. And then you guys have your passwords. Click next. What this does is it gets you into your Google Suite, and you can see here, oh look, you have a message, Leanna, from Mr. Schmeiser. So you'll see what's bolded. You see how this is darker and then this is lighter. This, boys and girls, is because it's not been read yet, okay? And this is where you see this says inbox. This means that you have 6 emails that you've not read that are in your inbox. And I'll leave Mr. Schmeiser's message in here for her, but this event, I'll open it because it's already over. It says, Mrs. Mansour reads, I am invited to a party. So that's over. So when you click on the message, you can see that you have the information about the meeting. Make sure that you look at the date carefully and the time. And when you scroll down where it says Google Join Hangouts Meet, you would click on that link and that would actually take you into the meeting with us for the Google meeting. And then sometimes I'll put some information as to what it was for, okay? To get back to your email, you can click on this arrow that says back to inbox, or you can click inbox. When you're done reading a message that you don't need anymore, you can click the delete button, but I'm gonna allow Leanna to do that on her own if she chooses, so we'll just leave it in there. Okay, so we're gonna look at this pretend meetings that I sent. So what I tried to do is I tried to do a couple things here. I tried to first send it through what's called the Google Calendar. So you would click on that and it says pretend meeting with Leanna. So Leanna could join this way. She can click on here, and when she would click, it opens up the Google meeting. It might say that it needs to use your microphone and your camera. So we're gonna click allow. I'm gonna turn off notifications. And it says no one else is here because again, we're just sort of practicing right now. But you would click join now, and I think most of you have figured this out already in your meetings with me. But I'm gonna just show you a couple things. Why isn't it showing the camera? Oh, there we go. Oops. Sorry for that. Okay. So what happens is then you'll have the camera, and again, as a reminder, one of the things that one of our technology pieces that we agreed on is that there's no recording during any of these videos. So make sure that when you have the Google Meet Hangout that you're not recording. I want to show you a couple things. When you log into your meeting, this is the microphone, and I will ask you to mute your microphone when you come in, or I might actually mute you. You would press that, and you'll see it's red with a line through it. That means that your microphone is muted. So that means that I can't hear you and neither can your classmates, because that's usually like if I'm speaking or someone's speaking. When we have all the microphones on, sometimes we get this loud noise or this loud ringing sound, or it's hard to hear people because the computers are picking up on all that sound and those signals. So it's going to be really important when we have our meetings that you mute your microphone until I call on you. So I'm going to unmute this here just for this purpose. The other thing is you'll see that if you turn off your camera, I won't be able to see your face because we're using this as a way for us to be connected as a classroom community. I would like to be able to see you so I can see that it is actually you on the other side of the screen. You're not going to worry about this Present Now tool, but I do want to show you up here. You have like a speech bubble. I want to be very clear about this, that when we're doing our Google meetings, your behavior, the expected behavior, is that of you being in the classroom, sitting with me actually in the classroom. And one of the things that I want to remind you is that we still show respectful behavior and we use respectful language. You should not be putting anything in comments unless it is something we are talking about that I ask you to respond, or if there's a question you have about what you're doing. So what I absolutely should not see is people saying, hey, what's up? What's going on? Or making silly comments. I know you're new to this, and so this is something that we'll learn. But this is for when you click on the comment section, or it's the chat. This is like if you have a question. So you want to, Mrs. Mansour, can you repeat that? Or I can't hear you. If there's something, you're having a signal problem on your end. Or if I'm asking you, maybe I say, okay, boys and girls, type in the chat, tell me what you had for breakfast, for example. And then you would type that in. But again, this is to be used appropriately, just like as if we were in the classroom and you were taking turns speaking in class. When you're in the meeting with me, I might ask you to do a thumbs up for a yes or a thumbs down for a no for your response so that I can see you. I might also ask you to raise your hand. So if you have something to say, you'll have to raise your hand just like we would in class and then wait your turn to speak. When our meeting is over, I will wait for everybody else to leave and then I will log out of the meeting as well. And when it's over, you will click on this hang up button here. That means that you're leaving the call. Okay. And then we're going to go out of that. Okay, and I'm back to here to showing this to you. The other way that I realize might just be easier for many of you, and I sent this out to all of you. You should have an email. So a lot of you you'll see whole class video meeting for students on Fridays at 9:30. That's going to be the one that you go into and you click on for our class meeting every Friday. But let's look at what it might look like in yours. So this is Leanna's pretend meeting. And I said, here's a link to your meeting. Watch how this also gets us back into that same Google Hangout. Okay. Join now. It says no one else is here. Usually I will be in there hopefully before you are. If I'm not in the meeting right away when you first log in, just be patient. I will be there shortly. Sometimes I'm finishing up another meeting, and if it goes a minute or two longer, it's hard for me to get into the Google meeting room right away. Okay, so there's two ways you can get in, and I'm hoping that'll make it easier for you. All right, now I want to show you how you could send an email to me. So you can do a couple things. If you want to send an email to me, you can click compose. You type in my email. please put a subject like, you know, question about math, or I'm going to put here test, and I'm going to put question about math. Can you show me how to add 2-digit numbers? Okay, if there's a question, so then I know that we can spend some time to work on that. And then you would click this, you have to click this blue send. You can't just click return and go out of it, because then I'll never get the message. And see, it says draft saved, because that's meaning that you started working on it, but you didn't finish it. And you'll actually see here drafts 1. That's because it didn't actually send. You have to click this blue to actually send the message. Okay. Now, if you are sending a reply, if I put, you know, here's a link to our meeting, and you go, oh, you know, you realize, oh, you can't come to the meeting because you, I don't know, you have to go to the store with your parent. You can go to this arrow and click reply, or down here where it says reply. They both do the same thing. You click reply. You say, hi, Mrs. Mansour. Thanks. I will be at the meeting. Okay. Thanks. And then you would click send.